We got a mailbag coming up on today's show for all of the real ones. As you're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, I am your host, Marshall Green. We're taking questions from subscribers. So if you didn't get your question on today's show, that means you are not a subscriber. So change it. Go down right now, hit that big red sub button, and become one of us. One of us. And one edit's coming in with the first question. Says, Marsh, I want Andrew Wiggins, LOL. What do you think it would cost for us to trade for him? Maybe Randall, Hartenstein, Grimes, and some picks. What do you think? I think if we are trading for Andrew Wiggins, you're going to have to probably give up Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett, right? I mean, they're going to want something really good of value. And they're probably going to want someone that they could slide into their starting lineup. I bet they'd honestly probably want Quentin Grimes and Immanuel Quickley. I just don't see us trading for Andrew Wiggins at this point, mainly because I don't think that the Golden State Warriors are going to move off of him. He does a lot for them. He's their best perimeter defender. He can score. He can rebound. He was a key piece in their NBA Finals championship. I don't think the Warriors would trade Andrew Wiggins, and if it did, it would take Grimes, RJ, and a lot of picks, in my opinion. My man BX Bang and NY Rep, and what's good, Brody? What will we have to give up if we were to seek out Zion, and do you think he's an upgrade to the team? Yeah, I do think he's an upgrade. I think when he's healthy, he's a better player than Julius Randle. I think his game translates to the playoffs a little bit more. He's a better defensive player. He doesn't need the ball like Julius Randle does to be effective. What do I think it would cost? Immanuel Quickley, Julius Randle, and picks. That would be my guess of what the cost could be for a Zion Williamson trade. You get better at defense, no doubt about it. That would be my idea right there. Appreciate the question. I am Jewel says, I need to know, since Klay Thompson is my favorite player, is there any hope that the Knicks can get Klay Thompson in the near or distant future? I think Klay Thompson's a lifer. I think Klay Thompson is going to retire with the Golden State Warriors. Would love to have him. He'd be a great shooting guard to have, right? I don't think it would happen, and I think I think he would almost rather retire than play for another team at this point in his career. My man Rich Rob says, I ran it on 2K. We want a chip. Let's do it. I'm in. LFG, LOL. We were talking about the Knicks doing this trade right here for Paul George. I know some people aren't happy about this, but I believe I would do this trade. I would trade RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, and 3 protected first-round picks for Paul George. I would absolutely do that. I think with Paul George, you become one of the best teams in the NBA. I think you can win the NBA Finals if you do have Paul George, and I think you could be a team that's good for a very long time. The injuries are worrisome, no doubt about it. He's 33 years old, but he's one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he's a catch-and-shoot three-point guy, can create his own shot, can create for the others, and you would have one of the best duos in the NBA with Brunson and Paul George, and one of the best trios of Brunson, Julius Randle, and Paul George. I'll ask you, though, are the Knicks finals contenders with Paul George? What do you think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to hear from you down in the comments section. Well, man, Jay Liv, what up, Brody? He said they haven't been to the finals since 1999 and haven't had the Larry O'Brien trophy since 1973. You do what you got to do if it makes you a legit contender. You don't win NBA Finals with role players. I'll tell you that much. You win the NBA Finals with superstars. Go all the way back to the Michael Jordan era. There's been one team. That has won an NBA Finals without all-time great, and that's the Detroit Pistons. And they had Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace. Unless you're going to have the best put-together team of all time, you're not going to win an NBA Finals. You need elite players, no doubt about it. Johnson, you appreciate the super chat. Says our Summer League roster sucks. Yeah, Summer League has been brutal to watch. That's why I haven't been talking about it too much. Knicks have drafted one player in the last 2 years in Trevor Keels. I respect Daquan Jeffries. There's probably one player on that team that's going to make the Knicks roster, and that's Trevor Keels, and he may even be a G League player at this point. Isaiah Roby has been okay-ish. I don't know if he's going to be the backup for. Some people think so. I don't know about that. Trey Miles, $10 super chat. What's it going to take to get either OG or Pascal from the Raptors. I believe one of these wings is a missing piece to a deeper playoff run. I would think the Raptors would want Immanuel Quickley since they don't really have a young point guard. They signed Dennis Schroeder, an NBA free agency, but they have not replaced Fred VanVleet. So I bet they would want Immanuel Quickley. I bet they would want some picks and maybe Quentin Grimes or RJ Barrett. Two of those young kids and picks. That's what's going to take for the Knicks to make an upgrade trade. That's my opinion, Trey Miles. Shout out to you. Yeah. Kenny Wu, $5 super chat, says, if he trades IQ, we are going to storm Madison Square Garden like they stormed the White House. IQ stays, period. I love Immanuel Quickley. I absolutely do. I don't want to move him. I do not. I think he's a star. I do. I think he's that good. But if you could only pick one of these two guys to keep, three guys, if you could only pick one of these three guys to keep, because I believe if the Knicks are going to make a trade and it's going to be an upgrade, it's going to be for a star, two of these three guys are on the way out. So pick one of these guys to keep. Is it Immanuel Quickley? Is it RJ Barrett? Is it Quentin Grimes? Type their jersey number down below of the guy that you're rocking with. Yeah, let me know. Ralph Alexander, super chat. Thank you, Ralph. Paul George hasn't played over 70 games since 2019 and hasn't shown he's a number one option since his Pacer days. RJ is still young and hasn't hit his prime yet. Yeah. But I would rather take the risk of Paul George being healthy and playing than depending on RJ Barrett to be a superstar in this league. I think with Jalen Brunson's contract, the way it is structured right now, he is going to be worth $25 million per year over the next 2 years, and you have to capitalize on that window right now. Paul George, when he plays, is one of the best in the NBA. Look at the stats right here. He is elite, especially on defense. In comparison, RJ Barrett averages 0.8 deflections per game and 0.4 steals per game. I know it's unfair to compare RJ Barrett to Paul George. I'm just trying to illustrate the picture of how much of an upgrade Paul George would be in the starting lineup. Tyler says, I want Lavine. Do I think it still can happen? Yeah, I think it still can happen. I'm not buying into the report that Clutch Sports doesn't want him to go to the Knicks. If the Knicks can get him the most money off the court, have him play in the number one media market in the world, and contend for a championship, why would you not want your client to go to a better situation? And we've heard rumors that Clutch Sports isn't going to be this dominant agency for the long term. We've heard that they may be looking to buy an NBA team with LeBron James once he retires. So I'm not. Yes, I think a Zach Lavine trade could still happen. If I had to talk about the three most players most likely to be traded to the Knicks in the next 6 months, I'm going Paul George, Zach Lavine, and OG Anunoby. Those would be the three guys I think are most likely. Rob Rodriguez, $50 super chat. Shout out to you. He says, if the Knicks get Paul George, do you think they will also chase Zion? Keep hearing rumblings of Zion. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on the Zion Williamson stuff. CAA client, wanted to be a Knick coming out of the draft. Star player right now. Probably can get him on a discount. Yeah, I think that they could try to chase Zion. Reports are coming out from Chris Haynes. We talked about it earlier in the week on the channel that he could be had for the right price in the right situation. I don't know if I want Paul George and Zion. A lot of injury risk there. But I am definitely under the understanding that the Knicks have their eyes on Zion Williamson. As always, thank you, and I appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us here on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. As always, remember, you can follow me over on Twitter, and we can talk ball over there. Just hit me up right here at this handle, @MarshallGreen_.